What's up, my Patreon people? It's 9 o'clock Tuesday following a Georgia game, which means we've got defense. Now, I have always talked on, I think Thursday nights, our Q&A, I always start the same way. It's the most nervous I ever am going into a show because I never really know, it's an audience-driven, broadcast. It's you guys asking questions. If there's no one there to ask questions, I don't come prepared with a monologue or anything to talk about. If there's no questions, I'm left there talking to myself. So I'm really, really nervous going into those. Never really nervous going into film breakdowns like we have on Monday and Tuesday nights, or even what we do on Wednesday nights with the what to expect, or some of my Patreon guys during heavy recruiting seasons get, personal breakdowns for each recruit, that Georgia's either after or potentially just got a commitment from, or, had somebody sign on National Signing Day. So those things I'm never really nervous about because I know exactly what I'm going to talk about. Tonight is totally different. So a little behind the scenes, my guys over there, and gals for that matter, over there on the Discord channel, have heard me talk about today. Today, Georgia fans, you guys know, today was an absolute thunderstorm of news. I was going to use another word, but we'll call it a thunderstorm, okay? It was an absolute storm of news. Within 30 minutes, we had Devontae Wyatt announce that he was returning. We had, golly, I'm already drawing blanks. We had a bunch of news. JT Daniels go right after that. And then, Matt Landers hit the portal. And I think we have one more return announcement. Shame on me. I'm focused on this stuff right now. So had a bunch of news break within like 30 minutes, right? A lot of stuff going on. Had to write a bunch of articles. Didn't really have time to grind the tape. Didn't really have time to look into what was happening in this Cincy game as far as what the defense was doing. So I told the Discord channel, I said, I think it'd be a good opportunity to do it live, okay? And just show you guys kind of what I go through, how my process goes, what I'm thinking about when I'm watching tape, what I'm looking for, how things are going throughout the game, what I'm, paying attention to throughout the play. So tonight is a kind of behind the scenes look, and I have no idea how it's going to go. I'm actually rather nervous about it. James Cook, that was the other one. JT Daniels, Devontae Wyatt, James Cook, within 30 minutes of each other, Matt Landers hit the portal. Boom. My mind's already sporadic. That's kind of how it goes with the film study. I'm like a dog with the squirrel, you know what I'm saying, from Up. Same thing on film. I'll be watching one thing and something else will pop. It's the same thing. It's how my mind works. It's how it works when it comes to film evaluations. And that's how it goes. So I'm kind of excited about tonight, really, really nervous. But, I mean, we got to do what we got to do. I got to bring you some type of film session. And I think tonight is going to be very, very interesting, at least for people who may or may not, y'all might not want to get into breaking down film. Y'all might not want to get into, the processes of what I do, or the process of, for that matter, what a coach does. Because I'll tell you what a coach does. Coach goes down the line, okay, on the all 22 and watches every single player. That's what good coaches do. I don't know about it, what other programs do. What my program would do if I ran a program, we'd watch as a collective staff, we'd be watching everybody. As a defensive staff, we would go through player 1 all the way through player 11, all 75 snaps, whatever happened on defense. Same thing on the offensive side of the ball. To me, that's what good staffs do in football. So we're kind of going to do the same thing tonight, but really tonight's going to be about what pops really on tape. So we might miss some things. I might miss some things because I don't have time to walk you through the entire process, because if I did, we'd watch 4 plays tonight. Okay. We have an hour-long broadcast. Typically, I try to keep it, right around an hour, a little bit over, a little bit under. But, this stuff takes me a while. You're kind of going to get a taste of it tonight, but I watch every play 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8 or 9 times, okay, just to make sure I'm not missing anything, because football, as you guys have come to learn from this channel, is about the minor details. It's about the little things and the little intricacies. So here's what we're going to do tonight, okay? And I've already told you, you're going to be watching me, watch my process, but here's how I kind of do it. The first couple of series, I think offenses and defenses kind of let you know who they think they are going into that football game. And then at that point, it's about adjustments, okay? So as we watch Georgia tonight, you'll see as they opened up against Cincinnati, they were throwing at Cincinnati what they thought was going to win, right? They, saved a couple blitzes in the bag for later on in the game, or a major third down that they absolutely needed. But for the most part, the stuff you're going to be seeing tonight early on in the football game, that's who this defense thought they were going to be and at their best. Same thing for offenses, right? We talk all the time about how offensive coordinators have what's called an opening script, or what they like to call openers, right? What they open the game with. Some coordinators are different. Some coordinators have 12 opening plays, right? We're going to go on a 12-play drive to open the game. This is what we got. Okay. Some guys like to script the entire first quarter. Sean McVay at the Los Angeles Rams. He's one of those guys that wants to script as much as humanly possible going into a football game as he can. Okay. Every coordinator is different, but that first series on both sides of the ball tell you exactly what each coordinator believes they're going to do best that game. So without further ado, at that point, before we go to our further ado and get in our tape, at that point, it becomes about adjustments, right? What the opposing team is having success, and defensively, what are we going to do to stop it? So let's get right into it. Okay. Now, I always like to watch the line of scrimmage first, and then I kind of follow the ball, especially if the ball's being thrown, right? It's hard on TV copies to know what's going on in the background in terms of coverage. That's why the all-22 is so important. But it shows me right now watching the line of scrimmage that, okay, Georgia opens the game on 1st and 10 throwing game stunts. They spike both defensive ends and wrap the big fellas on the outside. Kind of interesting for Georgia. Typically, they are a gap sound defense, right? They like to open the game, kind of play a regular base 4-2-5 defense, play gap control, gap sound stuff, especially on first down, because first down is typically what, guys? It's typically a run down. So for them to come out here and throw a stunt first down kind of tells me something. Okay, at least it's stored away in my mind as we move forward into the game. Why are they doing this? Why do they think they're going to have success with it? It's interesting, to say the least. My only, hypothesis as to why they're doing it, maybe they think these tackles are a little bit undersized, like we told you all week last week. Maybe they think their eye discipline's poor, like we told you all week last week, okay? So maybe those are the things they saw on tape from Cincy. Maybe they thought their defensive tackles could really dominate physically these offensive tackles from Cincy, okay? Eye discipline was poor on tape. We showed you that. So that's kind of the opener right there of the game. They throw a game stunt immediately, all right? Ball's thrown incomplete, and we'll move on to the next rep. I'm going to tell you what, Ritter had a lot more arm strength than I ever imagined he had, okay, on tape. It just didn't – I didn't see this kind of stuff that we're going to show you and that I saw on Friday. So into 2nd and 10, and immediately Cincy motions to empty, okay? Right off the bat, second play of the game, they're in an empty formation, okay? They're trying to throw the football. Now, Georgia drops, rushes 4, and drops into soft shell zone covers. Look, everybody basically at the sticks. We can't see Tyson Campbell down here, but he's basically at the sticks. Everybody keep everything in front of you, rally to the football. That's exactly what 36 Latavius Bernee does right there. I thought Latavius played really, really good football on Saturday. Didn't really find too many mistakes. One thing I will say right here is Quay kind of, yeah, I mean, it's athletic enough. It's getting the job done. It's not all pro, okay? The hip turn, the looseness in the hips, all that good stuff. But he gets the job done even though there's massive amounts of separation right there. Luckily, that's not where the play was designed for Cincinnati. And again, down here on the bottom, Georgia's throwing game stunts, okay? Boom. Tackle out, defensive end wraps in. Something to pay attention to as we move into this game. Do they keep throwing it? Do they keep throwing it? Do they keep throwing that type of blitz? On to the next play. Now they bring, okay, we've showed you this for years. We've showed you this for months now. Safety alignment, DB alignment, and where backers are is going to tell you everything you need to know as an offensive guy, where pressure's coming from. It's all about safety and corner alignment. Wherever the safety is, that's probably where the blitz is coming. You get stacked alignment like this, yeah, and then he's going to feint you and then come anyways, okay? Bernee on the blitz right there. They flush him out of the pocket immediately, all right? And they're still kind of leaving big fellas, okay? Why is Jordan Davis on outside contain? Well, Jordan Davis is on outside contain because they dropped Azeez Ojulari. They dropped the boundary edge rusher and brought pressure from the field. paying attention to that, storing it in our notebook, right? As we're taking notes, as we're evaluating, we're saying, okay, same thing as a coach, as an offensive coordinator, we're writing these things down. We're saying, okay, first series of the game, threw a lot of twists at us, started bringing blitz from the field, dropping the boundary outside backer. Something to pay attention to. We lose contain because Jordan Davis not typically used to holding contain on the outside, and Ritter rushes around the edge and about picks up a first down. I believe this one was called back upon further review. They left him short, punted the football. On to the next possession. We lose our first down rep. I don't know what happened there, but I remember this throw in the game. This is an absolute piss. I'm about to say pea missile. This is a piss missile. I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is a piss missile right here from Ritter. And to be honest with you, I don't know if we get a tight cut. We do. Okay. To be honest with you, I don't even know if it's the correct read. Okay. They got a whole bunch of junk going on right now. We call this mesh concept. If you ever played Madden, if you ever played NCAA, mesh, right? You're going to mesh two routes, and in this case, even three. Typically, if you're running three of them, we haven't seen the full clip. I guarantee you two guys cross, the third one button hooks right over the ball. You see? Crossers, button hook right over the ball, slant from number one on the top side. He hits the slant and throws a little bit low. Other than that, nothing really to pay attention to. Georgia staying in this soft shell cover three early in this football game. Drop the single high safety, roll one down into the box, butt to the sideline from Stevenson, butt to the sideline from Campbell up here. That's telling you what they are doing, right? We talk all the time about how to diagnose coverages. Corners and safeties will tell you it all, okay? If corners butts are to the sideline, 9 times out of 10, they're in cover 3. Or they may be in cover 4, but the single high safety right now tells us cover 3. He's got this third of the field. He's got this third of the field. He's got this third of the field in between the hashes. Outside the hashes, outside the hashes, in between the hashes. Follow me? Simple mesh concept on, I believe that was 2nd and 13. There's a lot to pay attention to, right? When you do these things. I want y'all's feedback on this. I don't like doing it this way. I think it was interesting to do it at least once every once in a while. Just to kind of show y'all what I'm doing. And I don't even know if I did. Here's the thing about me. This isn't bragging. This is me just telling you. I got one of these football brains when it comes to tape. And you can tell by the way I live tweet football games. 9 times out of 10, I see it once, I see it. Okay? I see what I'm supposed to see. I see what they're doing. I get one quick glimpse at it. I'm like, he's right, he's wrong, that's bad, that's good. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've always had it. I don't know where it came from. Don't know why it happened. What I do think it's from is me watching hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of football tape. I think that's what it is. And I enjoy watching tape. It's something that I've always just taken to naturally. But I had to. Also, it's just one of these guys. I mean, guys, I'm a 6-foot center that played in the Gulf South. Okay, go search through West Georgia's roster and see the guys that start for their offensive line and find me the 6-footer, 6 foot, 285 pounder. Find that guy. He ain't playing. Okay, he's probably a walk on and ain't getting sniffing the field. That Gulf South Conference is bona fide. Okay, some dudes up in there. Most of them all come D1 retreads. Okay, they get in trouble at one school, have to transfer out. They don't play. They have to transfer out. They hit the portal. Don't get a team to get interest in them and have to go to the D2 route, something like that. Okay, a lot of talent in that conference, and I had no business making 42 career starts in it. Okay, and the only way I had success was to be a grind the tape guy. I had to grind the tape. So that's the way I've enjoyed watching tape, and that's why I've watched tape. I've always had to, and it's always been natural. All right, so for the people on YouTube, we did an hour-long session of this game. Did it natural, did it one rip, one clip, did not watch any tape going into this, did not watch it after I turned the game off on Friday and started my post-game articles. Just did it organic. So if you're curious as to how I go about my process, feel free to sign up on the Patreon account, patreon.com/Brooks Austin. The link is in the bio. And feel free to interact with any one of my Patreon subscribers on social media. They will tell you it's the place to be, especially with what we got going on this offseason and with offseason content rolling in. starting tomorrow, we will begin our individual player breakdowns. So we'll go through a couple of games, maybe their best and their worst. I'll tell you what each player is really, really good at. I'll tell you what they're average at, and I'll tell you what they need to get better at. Okay. And based off of that, you will be able to get back on social media and do all the arguing that you guys love so much, to get on there and talk all that nonsense. So that's what it's for, is to educate you guys and to educate myself going along. So the reason I do this, and I think every media member should do this, I've said it from day one when we started this. If you're in the media and you're writing depth chart articles, or you're writing articles about certain players that might have breakout seasons, or you're writing articles about giving grades to each individual group, what the heck are you doing not watching the tape? What are you doing? Like, you can't see it. I guarantee you, people, that if you watched the whole thing tonight on Patreon, I guarantee you are like, damn, I didn't know Jalen Carter had that good of a football game. I thought, based off what we watched tonight, and I'm going to rewatch the rest of it, I thought Jalen Carter had his best football game all year, and he's been playing lights out. So it's very, very important to do what we are doing moving forward in terms of evaluating each specific player, especially when there's position battles up for grabs moving into 2021. That is it, my people. I am out. Sign up for the Patreon account if you haven't already. Thank you. See you another time.